Anyway, it's Ryan Bader versus Fedor Emelianenko in the Heavyweight Grand Prix, guys. This weekend at hashtag Bellator 214. Which outcome would be better for Bellator MMA? Bader as champ, Fedor as champion. Think it through, guys. Which one's better for the promotion as the representative, and think about it as well from the business standpoint. Go ahead, Goose.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is there kind of isn't a wrong answer to this, but I'm going to argue the side that I think Fedor Emelianenko would be just the better thing for the company, because now anytime you can have that guy at the forefront, it just brings back a lot of memories for people. I heard Misha Tate tonight talking about it on her show, just the mystique of that music playing, having to witness that for fans coming out. They love that stuff. I feel like a loss may actually, any loss can maybe usher Fedor out the door, and you don't want him out the door. If Bader loses that fight, then you can he kind of has the argument of, what do you want from me? I'm not even a real heavyweight. And he just goes back to being the light heavyweight king. So you make both sides a little happy there. I'm going to go with Fedor Emelianenko.
All right, how about you, Dan?
That's a good argument. And I'm predicting that it will go the other way. I'm predicting that Fedor will lose. I hate to say that, but and Bader will become a double champion. I predicted Bader to win the tournament. But I would think that him being a double champion does more for him than the organization. I don't know if that translates. And that's not a knock on Bader. I'm just not sure if there are that many fighters in the Bellator stable who you put 2 gold titles in and they're doing an exponential amount of more business than they would on their own, or Bellator would on their own / with that fighter. So it's not a knock on Bader. I just don't know if it puts it over the hump more as Fedor, if it's more of the Bellator brand and kind of, finalizes and legitimizes what they've been doing. Hey, we're not just bringing back names. We're not just doing fun matchups. We're giving these guys legitimate opportunities to win titles, and they're stepping up and doing it. And if Fedor does it, that would be huge. So I guess I'll go with Fedor as well.
Make it 3. I feel the same way. Bader, if he wins, he still lost to John Jones at one point. So even though he's champ, he can't carry an aura of a baddest man on the planet. Bader's tremendously improved since that fight, by the way. And I think he's really, really a world-class light heavyweight. I mean, a really, really good one. And I'd love to see how he would do against some of those opponents in the past. But the one thing that really bothers me is it's one moment to hold up 2 belts, and then it just kind of goes away. No one defends him, except for David Branch. They just don't get around to it. It's just a moment it's a cheap moment that we all capitalize. And it's good for Bader, but I don't think it'd be good for Bellator. I think Bellator is better off with Fedor. Hey, look what he still has as far as gas left in the tank. And luckily for Fedor, Fabricio Verdum isn't still a champion, because they can still say, hey, no, we got the baddest man on the planet. I mean, Cormier might have something else to say, but they've never fought. And so it's a little bit of a twist there, because Fedor has kind of carried that aura for so many years. A lot of people still say he's the greatest of all time.
I'd even argue that that scoreboard actually still goes in Fedor's way. Yeah, he did lose to Fabricio Verdum, but he's beat every other former UFC champion really he's faced, right? Frank Mir, Andrei Arlovsky, Tim Sylvia, heck, Jeff Munson, if we want to get technical, or title challengers, guys who have challenged for titles, right? Mark Coleman. Yeah, I mean, you can really just kind of pick and shoot through that resume. It's really strong there. So, if we're if Bellator's in that new era, let's be honest, we've seen Scott Coker poke with some tweets. I mean, to have a guy like Fedor as your champion is a real a nice piece up there.
Good business, too.
Good business.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it would be the end of the world to have Ryan Bader win that fight. But when you think about it, do you really want a light heavyweight to buzzsaw his way through the heavyweight Grand Prix?
No, only if Bader was more of a gangster. He's an all-American, good-looking guy, family guy, but he's not like a gangster that can, I guess, thump his chest and make that point. Like Bader, you can ask him and he'll say, yeah, I'm pretty damn good, aren't I? But he's never going to go around saying, I'm the best, I'm the man. And if you're a champ, you got to be doing that. That's just kind of not his style.
I wonder if there's any pressure on Scott Coker for this. Obviously, there's obvious pressure, but he's been a little bit more chirpy, a little bit more vocal, little posts that he makes towards the UFC, and I wonder if things don't really go Bellator's way that night. if he feels that pressure of.
Well, he
I need
can't
to
lose
deliver.
though. He can't lose because we're.
Oh, if it's a terrible fight,
Oh,
maybe he could lose.
true, yeah. But as far as like the result, either guy,
Yeah.
he'll either have a champ or Fedor. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. All right, here's how the results came. It was pretty split, even though we were unanimous. 56 did say Fedor is champion, so they were in agreement with us. But 44% said Bader as champ. You know what? 55-45. I misspoke.
Okay.
Over 1,000 votes came in thanks to Junkie Nation, the readers of the site, and the listeners of the show for participating.